Hi, everyone. It's Lisa with Thinking Inspirations, and welcome to my stamp studio. It is Thursday, July 31st. Can you believe we're at the end of the month already? It's almost back to school time, and the summer just kind of flew by. I know June always seems kind of slow paced and fun and easy for me. We have lots of family and friends that visit us here at the cabin. But then when July hits there, it just kind of starts rolling so quick, and I just can't believe it. So I hope you're having a great summer wherever you are and you're doing well. Again, our thoughts and prayers go to those that have suffered in the recent floods and any other tragedies recently. You are all in our prayers. So anyway, we are going to get started on our premiere here. That is a Christmas in July project. So I decided to go ahead and fit in Christmas in July with a fun stamp set and coordinating bunch, the Jar of Joy and the Sweet Joy Jar Builder Punch and tongue twister. So anyway, we're going to use that. I've had a couple of projects on my blog, one that went out in my newsletter. So I hope you're there so that you can see that. And while we're talking about that, if you are not receiving my emails, you need to go to this link here and sign up. You get a free online card class when you sign up with videos and some good designs that you can use over and over again. And then you'll get my weekly emails with exclusive projects and the latest information that you need to know about crafting. Okay. All right. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and put my camera down where you can see my desktop. And let me see if I can get this going here. There we go. Okay, so before we get started, I want to mention again that I extended my Crafting for a Cause to support Texas flood relief till the end of the month, which is today. Okay, so thank you to all of you who have placed any size of an order. All of it, the proceeds that I earn from that are going to be donated to this flood relief program. And so I thank you for those. And it's not too late if you still want to participate. So here is the link that you can go and place an order. Maybe you'll want to get the Jar of Joy stamp set. It's an online exclusive. And here's the punch, okay, that coordinates with it. We're using this today. And it's only can be found online, so don't try to look for it in your catalog. Okay. So anyway, would appreciate that, and the proceeds from that will go to a very worthy cause. Okay. All right. And one more thing, the mini catalog, which I lovingly still call the holiday catalog, will come out in September, but it's time for me to order those catalogs. So if you think that you would like for me to send you a catalog, you can email me here at lisa@inkinspirations.com. All right. But then there's a part 2 step you need to do. You need to go to my online store, and fill out a customer profile. And you need to put that yes, you do want to be contacted, because Stampin' Up! Has to have your information to mail you those catalogs. I pay them, and then they send the catalogs for me. Okay. And then also be sure and sign up and check that you want to be included in the Stampin' Rewards, where you earn rewards that you can use on your next order, on any order $20 or more. Okay. So be sure you do those 2 things. And if I see you there and you've emailed me that you want a catalog, okay, and I need to know by the end of the day today. Okay. So be sure you let me know as soon as this video is over. Okay. Email me here and then go fill out a customer profile there. Okay. All right. Let's get started with looking at this cute stamp set. So when I saw the gingerbread, it caught my eye. I like anything gingerbread, okay? And so I thought that is so cute. The jar was something really different. And so I thought, I'm going to get that. And I liked that they had the snowman and then these ornaments. And you can use all of these in different ways, okay? Some really cute sentiments there. And so let me show you the two cards that I have posted on my blog in case you have missed those. This one was a remake of a card that I did a video on 8 years ago. Okay, the layout and everything is the same, but it has this fun twine treatment, a little cute little loop here made of designer paper. And then I've used that jar there as the accent. And instead of putting a picture inside, I just stamped and embossed the sentiment. Okay. And then I did this one. I did a video on it earlier this week with the little snowman. It's just fun and easy and just a cute something different. And so that's why this stamp set is being featured this week. Okay. So today we're going to make a little gift packaging project. And so this is the little box we're going to be making. Okay. And when we're finished, stay tuned because I'm going to show you some things that can fit in this little box. Okay. All right. Let me get my supplies. First of all, I need a piece of cardstock 5x7. That's going to be the base. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and score that. I'm going to grab my Simply Scored scoring tool. Put this in here. Again, that's 5x7. So on the 7-inch side, we're going to score it 1, 2, 4, and 5. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay. Now let's turn it. And on the 5-inch side, we're going to score at 1 and 4. All right. So now, you know what the drill is. When we're making a 3D project, what is very important that you do? That's right. Got to burnish on all these score lines. So let's do that with our bone folder. My poor bone folder has seen better days. It has like glitter or something on it. Like, I don't know what that came from, but this was probably my original one. Look, the Stampin' Up! Emblem is already worn out off. So I've had it a while. So this October will be my 19th year. Can you believe it? 19th year as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So yeah, lots of fun. Love to share this art of paper crafting. Such a giving craft. Okay, so now we have this. I've got all the score lines burnished where it'll fold together nicely. And I am going to take my paper snips, wherever they are. Let's see, use these. Okay. I'm going to take these and I am going to cut and angle cut these lines. So see here how we have these two score lines close together at the top. And then this is a wider piece. This is the lid, the one with these two score lines together. So the first thing you're going to do is cut off these two squares at the top. So my sister is visiting right now, and she loves to fish the trout stream here. And she and Jackie are down there fishing and having a blast, I'm sure. It is so hot. We are supposed to get in a little cool front, I think tomorrow, by the weekend at least, where it's going to be not cold by any means, but cooler. It's just been really muggy here. You know, where our hometown is in Southeast Texas, and we know all about muggy and humidity down there and heat in the summer. Well, I'm feeling it here in Southwest Missouri too. All right. So now we have these all cut. All right. So now on these little squares here, I am going to take and just angle cut to that score line on all of those. This just kind of helps with box assembly, making it neater. Okay, let's go to this side now. And then one more here. So I'm just taking, I like to call it a little slice of pizza off of each little tab here. Okay, let me get my mess out of the way here. All right, so now we're going to assemble this. So what we're going to do here, remember this is the lid. So we're going to come up, push this in, take these two outer flaps. That's going to come up, and then it is going to adhere right over these two back flaps, okay? So that's going to give our box front a neat finish with these folds here, and then the back will have the seam, so to speak, okay? So I'm going to take, you can use liquid glue or Stampin' Seal Plus. You could either even use tear and tape if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue and hold it a bit while it dries. Let me hold that. Just give it a press, and it doesn't take long for that glue to take hold. Great adhesive. We like to call it the green glue. It's not green by any means, but the bottle is. So when I say that, everyone usually knows what I'm talking about. All right, let's hold that. Okay. And then when we go to close, these tabs are going to tuck inside, and then this little flap here will be on the outside. But let's go ahead and embellish. So I have some designer paper here, and let me show you these pieces. Got them marked for your sake and my sake. Okay, so I have two pieces. This is the Season of Elegance Specialty Designer Series paper that came out last holiday season, and it's still available. It's gorgeous, okay? So this has some little speckles of gold, and this one has more blobs of gold. And so I'm going to use that one on the front and this one on the back. So let's go ahead and adhere those. Again, that didn't look like it was right, does it? Yeah, it is. 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. Somebody messaged me the other day and they said, Lisa, the measurement doesn't jive with what you were saying. It's like, oh, I'm not surprised. It's like I start typing when I type up like for the blog or something, and it's like, oh, I might put 1/2 instead of 1/4, but that's few and far between. But you know, it does happen. Okay, so if it doesn't make sense with the measurements, reach out and ask me. Okay, so now we have those two pieces there. So now I have two pieces that are 7/8 by 2 7/8. And those are going to go on this front and then on the top. Okay. So let's put some dots of glue there. Put this on the front. Remember, that's going to show. You could probably tuck it in if you wanted to, but if I did that, I would angle cut these front ends so that it wouldn't be a battle when you're trying to tuck it on the inside. This one goes on top. Try to make sure I get some of the gold showing and all the little pieces. And then I have two pieces for the sides. I decided not to put on the bottom. Okay, so that's 7/8 by 1 7/8. And that's going to go here. So I find once it starts getting time to do holiday crafting, I start making little packaging ideas because I use them a ton for gifts. And I usually, like, I have so many samples. Once I like I make the project when I'm planning it, and then I make another one when I record it. So I have, just about two of everything. And my daughters really use those, and sometimes me, to give gifts to the girls' teachers. Okay, so you see that? Awesome, right? Isn't that pretty? So think you could do this for any occasion, even a birthday, holiday, any holiday, a special occasion. All right. So next, we're going to work on the jar. Okay. And so I have a scrap piece of the Pretty Peacock that we are going to punch with the Sweet Jar Builder Punch. And it's called a builder punch because it's two pieces and you put them together to make the whole. So I keep wanting to try. I've seen the jar where um, the jar is open, the lid is open on the jar. Okay, that's done. Okay, we have that piece. Then I have a strip of scrap Lost Lagoon. To me, this is just a lighter version of the Pretty Peacock. It goes very well with it. And I'm just going to slide the lid in and punch. Okay, so we're going to glue that like that. But first, we're going to do some heat embossing. All right. All right, let me grab my tools here. And so I'm going to use these ornaments. I'm going to get a Stampin' Pierce mat because with a photopolymer stamp, there's not a lot of cushion. And you need that little cushion underneath to get a good, clean image. Since I'm embossing, I'm going to use an embossing buddy. Now, this comes in the embossing and toolkit, essentials kit. I forget the name of it, but we do have them. And sometimes you can find them separate elsewhere. We used to sell just the embossing buddy, but it does, I believe it does come in the kit. Yes. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to take Versamark ink, which is a watermark sticky ink that we use for embossing, or you can use it for tone-on-tone stamping. So let me show you here. I'm going to stamp these ornaments in the center. And you can see how you can see the ornaments there? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and emboss that before I stamp the little bows on top. So let me grab my metallic gold embossing powder. Now these come in a set where you have the different metallic embossing powders that come, I think it's a trio set. Okay, so I'm going to flick off the excess. Really easy to do because I use that embossing buddy. I'm going to move this out of the way, start heating up my heat tool, and then we're going to emboss. I'm going to get my reverse tweezers here. I do have this on high. And then I'm going to start, you can tell when it starts getting shiny, the magic is happening. Okay, good to go. Yep, I see it's still melting, so good. So now I'm going to let that cool just a bit. Take it out of this. And then I have this little bow stamp, which is this one right here, that's going to be stamped at the top of the little extension here of the ornament. Okay, so we're going to once again get Versamark ink, and with photopolymer you can see where you're stamping. It's a little harder to do when you're recording because you can't get right over it all the time, but I'm going to do my best. That was a little low, but it's okay. All right, so now that was a little off, but we're going to call it good. And let's get our embossing powder again. So I find it easier to do this in two steps with the embossing, so it's helpful to see, the gold ornaments that have already been embossed, so you have a better idea of how to place. And if I would have put my head directly over, I would have seen exactly where to stamp, which is the beauty of photopolymer, but I didn't want to get my head in the camera. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's emboss those little bows. And there we go. Doesn't take long. So pretty. Okay. So now I'm going to let that dry just a bit and show you this piece here that is going to be like the backing, just to make it stand out from the rest of the box. So I have a piece of gold foil that I die cut with this banner label from the Stylish right here. Okay, it seemed like I froze a minute, so I just wanted to make sure we're going to keep going. Or you can cut a piece of 5/8 inch tall here, 2 3/4 inch long, and then just banner cut with your scissors, and you get the same look. You just wouldn't get those cute little embossed pieces outline around the edge. Okay, so okay, I think we're good here. I'm going to grab the box. Okay, I know this is going to go on that lid, center it side to side, but I just want the very top of it to be adhered, because if I adhered this bottom right, it would close the box. So we don't want to do that. So I figured that the best way to do that was to use mini glue dots. So let me grab, here it is. Take your pick tool, and I'm going to get 2 mini glue dots and put them toward the top of each side. And you can kind of stretch it out. You see how I'm doing? Okay. You want this middle here without any adhesive. Okay. You just want them on the edge. The ribbon is going to thread behind that, and you don't want to adhere it down. Okay. You want it to be able to slide through. Okay. So I'm putting this other mini glue dot there. Then I'm going to come back and attach it, center it side to side, and just where it is adhered to the top of that lid. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the next part of this before we adhere it to the jar, to the banner there. So when I saw this, I thought, that's really pretty, but I wanted it to stand out a little more and the jar to stand out from the rest of the pretty peacock. So what I did is I have a sponge dauber and my pretty peacock ink, and I'm going to ink up my sponge dauber. You can do it with blending brushes too. And I'm just going to go over it. It's kind of like Emboss Resist, but you're just getting, making that embossed image pop more because you're making that background darker. Same color, just giving it another level of intensity. See there? Isn't that pretty? It stands out more. And that's the look I was going for. Okay. Let's close this and get some of my supplies out of the way. So now we have our jar. And when you do this, sometimes if you rub over, it takes any of the ink that might be on that embossed image off. Okay. It makes it stand out even more. All right. So this is going to be glued right here. And then this, the lid, is going to be glued only to the top here. I just found it easier to do that. Okay, so that it's at the right place and it moves together, if it moves at all. Okay, so I'm going to take some liquid glue and just put a little bit right there along the top edge. Take my Lost Lagoon lid And we're going to hold that there for a minute. Okay. And then this is going to be glued over the top here, just gluing the top part. And I'm probably just going to put glue right here to glue over that metallic image. And you want to be able to position it where it's not extending below the bottom of your box. Okay. All right. I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then show you how I'm going to do the ribbon. Here's this metallic gold mesh ribbon. And I am going to slide it through. Remember, we didn't put adhesive behind the center of that banner, so we can do this, okay? And then pull it up, and I just want enough to tie a knot, all right? So I like to put the ribbon in before I cut it because everyone needs a little bit different length of ribbon when they go to tie, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and tie it a single knot. I'm not going to double tie it. And I'm going to go ahead and trim off just a little bit because I want to, when I do present this as a gift, I want to be able to tie it in a knot, so to speak. Not a tight knot, just, you know, doubled over. So here you see how the ribbon can go back and forth. This looks like it went a little crooked. The glue hasn't completely dried yet. So I'm going to hold that a second. And then let's go ahead and take our jar, our festive jar, and I'm going to put glue. I can see I want it to go right here. So I'm going to put glue right behind the jar right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put that down. Make sure that the jar doesn't extend beyond the bottom of the box. If it should go above the top here, that's perfectly fine. Okay, but you don't want, you want the box to be able to stand. Whoop. Okay, so I'm going to hold that a bit. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what you can put inside this box. So it's pretty small. Okay, it's a little box, but sometimes you have little gifts. So the first thing you could put, and I'm going to go ahead and open this. Okay, see how that opens with how we worked the ribbon and the jar. Okay. Okay, so I have 2 boxes of Nerds here, which that's usually a Halloween candy, but we could totally make that a Halloween box. But this would also fit like the Hershey Nuggets, you know, the little chocolates. It would fit like the single little Kit Kats stacked up. So most any small snack size or handout size candy would fit. I have a little hand sanitizer that fits nicely in there. Okay. Could also put, I have a little fingernail file that could go with the hand sanitizer. You can find fingernail files in decorative and different sizes now. You can put a bottle of essential oil. That's my favorite, stress relief. Okay, that fits nicely. It's an 10 milliliter, a third of a fluid ounce. Okay, well, 0.33. Okay, and I have this, which this is Mia's, but I said I need to borrow that because that is so cute. It's a purse charm or a backpack charm. I think it's so cute. Anyway, that would fit in here. Okay, so you know you have lots of little ideas here, and there are other things you could put. Tea bags. Let's see if the tea bags work. It's a little tight, but you could kind of fold them down and it would work. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Oh, we could give somebody some white embossing powder, maybe. No, that's too big. Okay. So you see, you could just try it. It can't be too big, but you could definitely put a cute little gift. Would also hold earrings. Okay. All right, let me fix this and tie it up again. So it's definitely reusable. if the recipient wanted to re-gift it with a gift, when you open it, it doesn't mar or damage the box in any way. So I think it's a cute little idea for gift packaging for the holidays or anytime. Okay. All right. So there it is. All right. I appreciate you joining me. Let me see if I can get back up here. I didn't think I would take this long. So thank you so much for tuning in. Remember about my flood relief. Let me find my paper. Okay, Crafting for a Cause. Also, I have a giveaway at the end of this month. It was our Jackie and my 50th wedding anniversary, and so I decided to celebrate with you. So there is a post on my blog, and I'll try to put it in the description where you can go and leave a comment. I give away one of my favorite books every month. And then I'm also giving away with every order a digital file of anniversary and wedding sentiments that you can write inside your anniversary and wedding cards. Okay. Then, if your order is $50 or more, you get your name in a drawing for some prizes. Okay. And so I hope you will take part in that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Be sure you sign up for my mailing list so you don't miss anything. This is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Take care. Bye bye.